Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Country Baker here. Hope you're having a good week. We are having an excellent week here in Smyrna. Just been a lovely day. The weather's been lovely. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Country, you sure do look handsome today. What are you just so dressed up for? Honey, I have to tell you, ever since we were little kids, our parents always said to us, they said, kids, make sure you avail yourself of your civic duties. So y'all, today, Country got on his pretty hat. I got on my veterans t-shirt, and I went down and I registered to vote because this is an election year, and this is a damn big election. We got a lot going on in the world that we need to talk about. So I went down there. I called Olabunde, the Uber driver, but this time it wasn't Olabunde. Her name was Rita, and she didn't talk much, and she got upset because I didn't have a mask, so I had to put my t-shirt around my face, but that's okay. So I went down to the little court, to the little elections office, and I walked in, and this lady named Judy was there, and I said, well, hey, Judy, and she said, hey, and I said, my name's Country Baker, and she said, hey, Country Baker, and I said, I'm here to register to vote, and she said, okay, give me your driver's license, give me your birth certificate. So I pulled that shit out and I gave it to her. Like she really looked at it or whatever. And she gave me my little card and she said, you have to register a party. And I said, well, damn. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't know enough about either party to know which one I love. But I said, okay, well, damn. So I picked a party and I registered. And I'm not going to tell you what party I registered because it's none of your fucking business. It's not my fucking business who you vote for. It's certainly not your business who I vote for. Shit, we don't even know each other. You've just been here for cocktails a few times. So sorry, I'm getting parked. So I went and I registered and I left and I called the Uber. And this time the driver's name was Joshua. He was a little bit nicer, but these Uber drivers and these fucking masks are just getting on my nerves. People don't just carry around masks, though you should carry a mask. People don't just carry around masks and hang out with them. So I had to take off my shirt again and wrap it around my face, but I didn't mind it because Joshua wasn't hard to look at. So I was hoping he would give me a look. And I think he checked out my chest hair and he thought it was sexy. And I think he kind of adjusted himself, but it didn't culminate in any type of relationship. Even though, the last time we talked, one of the last times we talked about finding a companion. Still working on that, honey. Those damn dating apps, fucking crazy people on those dating apps. But so I came home and went on the Google. I love the Google. The Google is the crystal ball to the future. It's the crystal ball to the past, and it's the crystal ball to the present. So I went on and I started learning about political parties. Now, I have decided that in our conversation, since you're in my house, my rules in Smyrna, Georgia, that we're only going to touch on the candidates a little bit. We're going to touch more on the party. Because I really do think that you should think about the party because the party is going to support and ultimately influence the candidate. So on a ballot, it starts with the incumbent. So let's talk about the incumbent. The incumbent presidential party is the Republican Party, and our Republican president is Donald J. Trump. One of the things that One of the things that I focus on is what the candidate did in violation of his party, what he did in support of his party, he or she, what he did in support of his party, and what he did in support of my beliefs. So I think the Republican Party, at least in our recent memory, is going to be most notably recognized for this damn coronavirus. Now, we've been talking about this fucking coronavirus for weeks now. It came from the beer that they sell in China, and it just made the whole damn world sick. Killed, hundreds of thousands of people. They think in the U.S. alone, by the time it runs its course this year, it's going to kill 200,000. Now, only for perspective, the flu in North America every year, or the flu around the world every year, kills about 3-4 million people. In North America, it kills about 600,000-700,000 people. So that's just perspective for you on this fucking virus. And by the way, I hate the name coronavirus because I really do like those damn Corona beers with the lime in them. So I have renamed him Bob. So Bob is killing fuckers all over the place, but right now so are cops. So, but we'll talk about that later. So most notably in our memory is probably going to be the way the party handled the virus. Now, let's talk a little bit about Donald Trump. Now, I know Donald Trump is an asshole from New York who needs to delete his fucking Twitter account and shut his damn mouth sometime. But when you think about Donald Trump's contributions with the support of the Republican Party before the coronavirus, Donald Trump has been in the public eye for decades. He has been a very successful businessman for decades, and I think we all can agree that the economy has done quite well under Donald Trump's leadership. Now, I know a lot of people argue that the good that's happening in the economy actually began with Barack Obama in between like 2013 and 2016. There may very well be some truth to that, but I think Donald Trump picked up the torch and ran with it and kept the fires burning and made them a little bit bigger everywhere he went. Because, again, all my Democrat friends on the damn Facebook who always post, not my fucking president, blah, 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 blah. That's fine. That is your opinion. Post it all day long. I wish you wouldn't put it on Facebook. Facebook's supposed to be for fun, but okay. Post it all day long. You all have really good jobs, make really good money, take really fabulous vacations because of a strong economy. Now, the Republicans were dealt these cards that had this damn virus. Now, I know a lot of people argue the Republican Party with Donald Trump at the wheel didn't close borders fast enough. And I was a complete advocate for telling people you need to stay in your own fucking country and get your own people sick. Don't bring it here. Sorry to be that way, but I was that way. So I was an advocate for that. And I even agree that we didn't close borders fast enough. But when you think about it, in the scheme of a health crisis, this motherfucker flew up quick. We started hearing about it in January, and by March 17th, we were shut the fuck down. That's less than 3 months. So the Republican Party during this pandemic, I'm the first one to tell you, those fuckers don't know shit about medicine. They handled this thing as poorly as you could from a medical perspective, and they didn't get a jump on it. Fucking people didn't realize how it was transmitted. People were telling people to inject themselves with household chemicals, all this crazy shit. Now we understand this virus a little bit more, and we're learning to get along with it. But at the time, the Republican Party did not handle the medical side of the pandemic well. What they did do is they handled the economic side of the pandemic well. Most of this country got a little stimulus check if they made less than $90,000 a year, which most of us make less than $90,000 a year. And what we do with that stimulus check? We went to strip clubs and restaurants and Amazon, etc. We put it back in the fucking economy. I know. I put it on many polls down at the Swingin' Richards down in Atlanta. So I am quite sure that all of us spent this money and put it back into the economy. They also pioneered and really fought for this CARES Act, which allowed for payroll protection to keep more people from being laid off or furloughed, to try to get their hands around the unemployment numbers. And you go on to Facebook and go on to Google, and people who are pro-Democrat say the Democrats would have handled it better. I don't know that they could have. The world was just fucked up. This virus turned the entire planet upside down. There are countries where you can't go into their country unless you're a citizen who is going to visit a citizen who's dying. Like, it completely derailed our country. And I just don't know that either party would have handled it perfectly. I do hope we've learned lessons for when the next wave comes, because they say another wave of this fucker is coming. And if another wave of this fucker isn't coming, another fucker's coming. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Now, let's talk about the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party, in our memory, is probably going to be most notable for getting us through the Great Recession. I was not on the grid in 2009, but I understand that there was a point where there was 5 years of available new home inventory because the economy was so fucked up. And the Democrats did some really, really, really impressive things. They kept lowering interest rates. They made it easier to borrow without you having these adjustable rate mortgages, even though those really were started by Bill Clinton back in 1996. But we'll talk about that in a second. The Democrats threw all of their energy and all of their resources into economic recovery. That was really led by Barack Obama. And by 2013, things were looking up and looking real up, which is awesome. So the Democrats have a few people that are key to their strategy. And just like Donald Trump is a fucking asshole idiot from New York, that guy y'all put up to be the Democrat, y'all, his name is Joe Biden. He can't remember what he had for breakfast. Do you really want that man to try to remember the nuclear launch codes? And he hasn't chosen a running mate yet. He's kind of dragging his feet on that, probably because he just wants to do the damn thing by himself and do away with the vice presidency. He wouldn't be the first Democrat who wanted that. But now there's talk that maybe his running mate is going to be the current mayor of Atlanta. Her name is Keisha Lance Bottoms. She has been in politics for about 5 minutes. So this man who can't remember his social security number or what time he had his last drink of water is going to try to memorize the launch codes and his number to be somebody who's been in politics since about December. That makes me nervous. Then his primary support in the Democratic Party right now is this lady named Nancy Pelosi. Y'all, Nancy Pelosi is as crazy as a prostitute with a foot fetish at an amputee convention. That woman is a lunatic, and I wouldn't let her run my HOA, let alone my damn country. And she is high leadership in the Democratic Party. This woman tore up a Bible the other day to protest Trump holding the Bible for a picture. Do you know how many pictures presidents take with shit that they don't even know what it is or just given to them? They're called photo ops for a reason. Do you really think that all those models actually guzzle Diet Coke like it's their job? Fuck no. So you've got the Republicans, you've got the Democrats. Both of them are going to vote, or both of them are going to run. It is our responsibility to vote our conscience. So I'm not going to tell you which way to vote. There are pros and cons to both parties, but I'm going to tell you that in November, when you come to Country's House for a cocktail, if you bitch about politics, you better be able to say that you went out and casted your vote. Because it's the only way to affect change in this country is to vote and vote your conscience. And if your candidate doesn't win, you know, Alabama doesn't win every football damn game they play, though they do win most. If your candidate doesn't win, he doesn't win, but at least you availed yourself of the process. So that's all I have to say about that, because politics fires people up. But I just wanted to just clear my conscience. And now I'm going to examine the candidates, examine the parties, and I'm going to determine which one is best for country and for little country. And you should do the same. So with that, have a great day, a great week, and an awesome life. And I will see you next week.